Hey guys, welcome to another video. I know I said the last two video that I was going to export, and then I ended up putting a how to make the texture one from the beginner course, and now there's this. Now, how can you possibly export when you haven't applied the texture yet, right? I don't know why I said I'm going to export, but that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to apply textures. Alright, so let's do this. So first things first, I'm going to go to custom and open my Hypershade. So it's this one. And I'm going to make sure my material is the same name as my material in Unity from the past project. Because when you export all of this, remember that the material is going to be exported along with it. And if that material has a different name in here, it's going to be a different exported material into our project. So this is our first environment that we did on the beginner's course. And we're simply copying the material name, which supposedly is right here, where this one. So we're just going to simply name it texture so that when we import our meshes from our intermediate course, the same texture here will be applied, if that makes any sense. So let's do just that. I'm going to delete this, and of course create another Lambert. So put a Lambert here, right click, rename. I'm going to name this texture. Make sure you're copying the same naming convention, capital first. And of course we're going to map our texture there. So file here, and I'm going to find that it is on low poly texture, and then this one. Okay, so it's really good to have everything organized and clean like that because you know exactly where things are at. So there's that. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to delete hide. I'm just going to delete this for now. And this one, I'm not quite sure if I should make it derived from the texture or material. Because some things here, I'm going to apply materials on them from Unity. So of course I'm going to create another Lambert texture, and I'm going to call it emissive. And the rest is going to be deriving from this texture that we've created on the last beginner course. Now, what are the main colors that we've used on the beginner course? And if I'm not mistaken, that is analogous. Sometimes I forget the terms, but I know exactly what they are. So, should be in here. Let's see. Analogous starts with A. Where did I put it? Oh, right here. There we go. As you can see, colors that are next to each other. So this time, we're going to use the same combinations here. Mainly orange and green, and we're gonna add other outsider color. I'm not sure what yet, but I think it's going to look good. And I want you guys to experiment on the colors. Okay, so we have a base color that is green and then orange. So if we minimize that real quick, so we have an orange here and also a green here. That was our base color. But in this particular intermediate course, we're gonna add outside colors. So maybe we could add a violet. This would make this that triangle scheme, which is your triadic, or it could be tetradic. If you remember, we have a square like this, and we can add blue and then red. And I'm not quite sure yet if I'm gonna use tetradic or triadic. Like, it really depends on my mood when I'm creating the video. But I think I'm gonna add as much color as I want. That's what I want to do. And I know that on our Photoshop right here, we only have two colors, like in our texture here. So the rest of the color will be added on a material in Unity right here. So let's apply our colors. I have so much crap. So, I'm going to close my outliner. I don't need this anymore. And I need to create another material. I'm going to create this real quick so I don't have to later on. And I'm going to call this emissive. Now keep in mind, the name that you put here is going to be the same name that is going to be imported into Unity when you import your meshes. So keep that in mind. And also, I want you to know that just because a certain material is attached to a certain mesh right here doesn't mean that you can't change that material. You can always create a material in Unity and apply that into the character and make a prefab out of it. It's not locked. Nothing is ever locked. So let's open our UV. Right here, and also planar this real quick, and this is going to be planar on the x-axis. Alright, and I'm gonna quickly make it smaller like that. like this, and I want it to be deriving from the brown parts. So I can just make them smaller like this and add it here. Make sure that you make them small enough so it's not going to bleed. And what I mean by that is it's taking color from this greens right here and this monochrome of gray right here. I can always go to shell, highlight everything, go to UV toolkit right here and stack them up. So which one is it? I think it's on the range layout. Yeah. Alright, stack them up. Now they are all stacked up together, but this is depending on you, whichever one you want. The computer is completely running slow today, so I don't see anything changes. Let's press 6. There we go. Now we see it changes. And it's too brown for me. I don't want it too brown. No. I want it light as possible so the light can be affected. Let's see if I can put that there. Something like that. So it can be affected by light as possible. I'm gonna transfer here. UV, I'm gonna hit planar so I know that is on the X axis. Go to my hypershade, apply. I'm going to kind of stack them up, make them smaller, and this time maybe put it here in this block. Let's see. Look at that UV. It's so small. Something like this. I mean, you can even click them by shell and just spread them out for the sake of complexity. Alright, so this stock is obviously going to be kind of whitish. What do mushroom look like? Mushrooms. So reds or brown, maybe, or white. So how about a brown and white? I still can't decide. So UV, planar this on that axis. This one, apply the texture. As you can see, I don't select everything and just apply texture because I want to do something different on this, like custom. I'm gonna put this here. Maybe make it white. Yeah, make it white. And this one, we're gonna mess with this later on when we're creating a VFX, because right now, when we kind of set this up on the scene, this is going to be the last because that's the visual effects. So maybe we can go back later and add little bits of models there. But yeah, that's what we're doing. So planar this again, apply texture. I just kind of want you guys to be cool with going back into different softwares and just doing what you have to do, because I don't want you to be kind of like used to modeling, texturing, exporting, put it on a game engine, because sometimes you have to keep going back to actually do the idea in your mind, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, just get used of doing what you have to do. There's no fixed things about everything. Everybody has their own workflow. This is my workflow. And you can copy it, like, for all I care, but make sure you put your original spin into it, because it's going to be so much fun if you can own what you actually do. So, this one. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the insides because I'm going to make them emit light. Alright, so just shift selecting. So you can see the insides are now selected. And here with 2, let's see. we're playing with emissions. This particular course emissions. This one. As you can see, we have so much tris. This could be converted into quads if you want, but just so you know, I think I've told you this a lot of times before, but every time you import a mesh into a game engine, the game engine turns down into tris anyway. Every single quads that you've done is going to be turned into tris anyway. So what's the point of making your character or whatever you're doing into something of a quad, like just full of quads? Well, that's for animation purposes. Okay, so I'm going to right click, actually just maximize that, right click on emissive and then assign. So we have two different texture. So basically, when we export this, it's going to have two materials along with it. So it's going to have the texture where we put this texture right here in emissive. So expect that when we export every single thing here, it's going to have the texture and the emissive, okay? And I don't particularly care about the color of the emission right here because we're going to control that via Unity. So it's going to stay like that for now. So I'm going to highlight this, UV, planar this on the X, and of course this one, texture assign. Depends on you if you want to make this brown, or I'm gonna turn this into something like this. Let's see first. So we have a brown here. We have kind of like a greenish trees right here. I kind of like the hue of it. It's a little bit different. But let's see if I can rotate this. Make it even more thinner. Maybe take it here so it's not too much. Ah, that's more like it. Now it looks like a moss tree, like a very, very old one. I can also make this brown if I want, or I can make it green too. Just depends on my mood, but now I'm gonna turn it into green, because why not? I don't know, I'm just having fun doing this. Because I've been recording the character course for a while now, the whole month of February. Right now it's the 16th, so I've been recording it straight 2 weeks. So there's that, and I haven't done any environment stuff. And I kind of miss doing this. Also catching too much Pokemons. I'm in San Francisco wandering around the Koi Tower, and they released, I think, Rayquaza, the snake, as I call it. It's the snake, it's my snake. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's that meme. You know that tiny little green snake? It's like a little cute one, this one. So, on my Pokemon Go app, when I catch Rayquaza on a raid, I just call it a snake. Now, I'm not too crazy about Pokemon Go, but I've stopped playing it for I think half a year or so because of the bugs that is still actually in there. But when I just accidentally opened the app on San Francisco when I was wandering about, it's like a fiesta every day. There's so much of those alluring everywhere, and people are just too crazy about it here. Like, people still play that here. So, yeah. So I kind of like started playing it a bit. And I just collect fluffy Pokemons, like dog, cat looking stuff. And I name it Fluff, because I like fluffy things. What are these? Do you guys remember what this is? What is this outliner? Pillar. Oh, okay. So I forgot what those are. This is my old project. Let's see what I color them. F. Actually, they're just natural kind of brown. Alright. Alright, let's take it here. In here maybe? Let me see what this looks like. Go to object mode. I wish there's like a shortcut for Maya. I don't know if there is. If there is, please tell me. Instead of right-clicking this and hovering to object mode, I wish I can just press one single letter. It's gonna be clear object mode. I wish there's something that's like that. That would be so much easier. For me, at least. Instead of dragging things about. It takes so long sometimes. I'm gonna leave that like that because why not? This one's, have I applied anything in here? These are my Portal Mini. I'm gonna check my reference quickly. I want to see what they look like so I can remember. Alright, so we have those mini ones. They are dark, concrete looking. Alright, let's do this. Concrete looking. UV, planar, apply your texture. I'm gonna drag this, I think, here. And go to UV shell and just drag stuff. Dun, 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 dun. 16th. It is February the 16th. I don't know why I'm telling you, but I'm telling you. It's February the 16th. Oh my god, shut up. Okay, planar this again. This obviously is gonna have 2 materials on them. Oh, wrong one. This one first, and then we're gonna fix it later. Make this small, and I'm gonna stack them up. And also drag that here. Because I'm telling you right now, we're gonna add emission on this. Go to shell. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you. It's the intermediate. Come on. You should know by now. The stuff that I'm clicking. I'm just gonna drag this a bit here. Take this here. And time for that emission. Okay, let's do this. So from here we're going to select faces one by one. Okay. Select this. Select the stuff that you want to be emissive. That's what we're doing. Close my outliner, I don't need this. Taking up space. Go away, please. Make sure that you don't click anything from behind too, because that's gonna mess up your stuff. Just saying. Alright. So this is the mission that I want to be emissive. Oh, I forgot we have a back stuff. Dang, girl, why do you have to put so much? Oh my gosh. I have so much going on with my life. You guys know I'm going to Canada again. The last day of February. What's the last day of February? That's, I think, 28. What is it? Yeah, I have a flight back to Quebec on the 28th. I have to go back. Why, you say? I can hear you asking. From the future. So I'm trying to make more courses, but I'm trying to make a collaborative one. Something fun. But my business partner is in Quebec and he started a company there, so he can't really go here in the US. So there's that. Because you have to deal with the lawyers side of business. So I end up the one that's have to, I can't work while explaining, jeez. But yeah, I end up the one going there. And hopefully the custom will be nice to me and not interrogate me like I'm a terrorist again. But yeah, things like that happen if you're traveling to Canada and you're staying long, 5 months, 4 months, or anything of the sort. Get ready to explain to the custom what you're doing there, where you're staying, and everything else. Because those people aren't your friends. They're there to do their job. And they're gonna confiscate your phone, your laptop, and actually look at every single one of them. They're gonna ask for your password, look at your emails to see if you are who you are, what you're saying. They're checking if you're a terrorist. And also, you know, just keeping their country safe from crazy people. But yeah, in case you travel to Canada or the US, I think it's the same thing here in the US too. Make sure to tell them the truth and don't lie and don't say unnecessary information. Like I did the last time. Jeez, I get holed up for like, I think 2 hours. Jeez, because I have a habit of telling the truth, even if the truth sounds kind of a little bit retarded in a way. And me telling them the truth ended up with more questioning than it needs to. But anyway, it was fun. It was a new experience for me, and now I'm about to experience it again. I have a stopover in Toronto. Hopefully it's not gonna be too crazy, because I have a cat waiting for me in the car when I land on Quebec. Because I'm as a cat that is on Mikel's video. You have a cat, if you don't know. Just check the YouTube thing, the N3K, let's see, YouTube, N3KEN, this is my business partner, if you don't know him. So this is my business partner, if you don't know him. He runs this programming channel, and there's this cat. This cat. I freaking miss that cat, and I'm going to see him on the 28th. Nobody can stop me from seeing this freaking cat. But yeah, back to our topic. Let's go back to this. Instead of talking about the catos and my obsession with collecting fluffy things. Actually, I'm gonna hide this. It's getting in my way. Get out of my way. And I just control undo. But anyway, let's keep applying things. So that was our lesson for that. So you can see I just ended up like selecting masks and backwards. So I'm gonna show everything because I'm pretty sure I have to make this low. That is the wrong one. I'll see, I have to make this low. Okay, so it's right here. This one's inside the low. Something like this. Let's see. Yeah. This one's here. I want to see over the top of the low, but some parts. You have low. And this is my low, that's like imagine like this is highlighted. I don't know how it is. I don't know what it is. I hate it. There it is. This one. I don't know if you guys want those 6 lows. That's fine. You have to record email. This video, I'm signing press. This one, here. This one's here. This one's here. Please. I'm going to do this episode inside this one. We'll do this on top. I'm going to do this on top. I'm going to do this on today. Sorry. I'm going to have to go. That's a little bit of these. Oh, these are good. And here, see. I'm going to fix it up a little better. Here, right as 5. And so here. So you can change this on these if you choose to. Just checking emails on cancel it. Right, this one. This one. Right, this one. Oh, perfect. You're here. I want to see if I don't. I'm going to use this much. Almost done. So the little here. Think over to this. Exactly the cat alone. You know what the cat is up. And like that everybody. This is a big cat. You know. Not ready. And it goes like home. In fact, after you get a window 24 hours, this is a cat. You really know this cat. He's got quite a bit. I don't know that feels like bleeding. Part of my cat. Yes. This is also the same thing. Part of my family. Which I open. Alright, where's that open? No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna get this way. Size isn't doing right. Alright, this way. I'm gonna go to my Hypershade. Since everything has the same color, this is the main color for every single mesh that we have. And I'm gonna change the color into pink so I know which one I haven't done yet. This one, obviously, I'm not going to export that because we might redo that later on in the VFX section area. But right now, this one's missing something. So, UV planar. Oh, of course, it's not selected. What were you thinking? Apply a texture, right click, design, UV, editor. This is going to be kind of brown. Bigger, too. Maybe rotate this because the top part of torches are the ones that are burning, and it makes sense if they are dark. Something like that. Am I missing anything? Let's see, this trees. You know, these trees can glow too if you choose to do that. You can make them glow, you can even make them translucent. It's just dependent on you. Same kind of workflow as those rocks. And I know it looks funny right now, but once we adjust the colors in Unity, it's gonna look Gucci. So time for these things. I'm gonna planar them. Now it depends on you if you want to select every single kind of faces here and apply different colors, or you can just kind of select both of them and apply just one color if you want. So click this texture and I'm going to assign, make them a wee bit smaller. I'm going to apply them on this side because I want the light to affect them as much as possible. And also I'm going to go to UV shell because I want these parts right here, I want them to glow. So I'm going to apply the emissive material there. So it kind of looks like that. And right now I'm experimenting on color. I might change my mind later and kind of like redo and reapply the color however I want, because I have no clue yet how this is going to look like, this statue, in terms of like color, or how they can look like in the game engine. But I can always redo that and work backwards later on. But I'm going to leave them like that for now and just kind of play with the lighting a little bit. But in here, I'm going to create a material for that, and this is going to be my VFX. So I'm going to call this VFX right here, and I'm going to create another Lambert material separately for the character, this Santa's elf looking thing right here, and I'm going to call it elf. He's going to have his own color, and I'm going to smooth the character, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go click this one. So that looks weird. I'm gonna go check something real quick and press F here. So it's one mesh, but I wonder why it's white here and green here. So everything's supposed to be just green. But anyway, let's go kind of set the face first and then smooth. So as you can see, when we export this into the game engine and import, it's going to be smooth and it's going to work good because I want just the base body shape of this. And we're going to animate that later. Alright, so now that we're kind of done applying these textures, I want you to delete your history so Maya won't lag. If so, I kind of want you to do that every 10 minutes or every 15 minutes, if you can. And I want you to save this file, save scene as, and let's go to low poly here, Maya here, swamp here, and this is going to be your textured. Save. Continue. Alright, so there's that. And also, real quick, because I'm being really nitpicky about it, is I'm going to just kind of fix my naming convention. So just add this bit right here. Alright, and just like that, we are done applying most of the textures. And on the next video, we are going to export this, do some prefabbing, and then set up the scene and do much more stuff. That it's the fun side of things. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye!